We're not here just to tell a story. We are here to solve this case.
If they get his DNA, that's great, because there'll be a domino effect from that. That tells me that the offender has probably killed before and possibly will kill again. I'm going to reenact how the offender possibly committed the homicide.
We have a DNA profile. There is motive here.
We can just start stacking these cases together.
Premiering on the Oxygen channel is The DNA of Murder with Paul Holes, an investigator that opens cold cases using cutting-edge DNA technology. And Paul joins me right now. Good morning, Paul.
Hi, Jeff.
Good morning from Las Vegas.
Good morning from Los Angeles.
Now, in your new series, The DNA of Murder, tell me about some of the new cutting-edge DNA technology that you use in the show to help solve these cold cases.
Well, in The DNA of Murder with Paul Holes, I am going into law enforcement agencies to look at their unsolved cases. And in part, they're giving me access to their case files, they're giving me access to their evidence, and I'm making recommendations as to what types of testing could possibly move the case forward and maybe lead to a solution. Of course, DNA is the huge tool out there for these cold, unsolved cases. I personally have done forensic DNA testing within law enforcement, but now, particularly riding on the coattails of the Golden State Killer case, I'm now helping these agencies in the DNA with cases in the DNA of murder to explore the potential of using this new revolutionary tool, the forensic genetic genealogy DNA testing, to see if that could possibly help solve the case. But we're not just limited to DNA. If there's any other type of new technological tool out there, we're going to explore that. The goal is to advance the case and solve the case.
Can you give us a little insight on the process of choosing which cold cases to feature on the show?
Well, choosing the cases for the DNA of murder there is a vetting process. There's an outreach to law enforcement. I always want law enforcement involved with the show. I want to be able to collaboratively work with the agencies to help them investigate their case. The other major thing is that I want the victims' families to agree to it. Those are two critical things. I evaluate each and every case that I investigate for the DNA of murder. And what I'm looking for is those cases that I believe, based on the information, is solvable, and that the offender in the case is somebody that absolutely needs to be taken off the street.
Now, in using DNA to solve these cold cases, has the law caught up to using such technology? Is there privacy issues?
Well, at this point in time, particularly with the forensic genetic genealogy, there is concern out there in the public domain about privacy concerns. So in many ways, we're right in the middle of society debating how this tool can be used by law enforcement and what kinds of restrictions should be placed on the use of that tool. And I think what you're seeing within law enforcement, and most notably US DOJ, policies are being written to kind of give a governance over how and when the genetic genealogy tool should be used, with keeping in mind some of the privacy concerns that are out there.
And you start the series off with a 90-minute special with a murder investigation in Williamsburg, Iowa?
That's correct. And this is just such a sad case. This was a young couple, Roger and Rose, that drove 4.5 hours to basically have a weekend getaway. They check into a hotel, and the next day they're found hatcheted to death in their bed. And this has been unsolved for over 40 years. Both Roger and Rose's families want to know what happened. So I am working with law enforcement on that case in the season premiere for the DNA of murder to explore and investigate who killed Roger and Rose.
Now, of course, you don't work alone. Tell us about the other experts you have on the show.
Oh, I use a wide variety of experts, and some of these experts are very well known, such as Lonnie Coombs, the former Los Angeles District Attorney, Yolanda McClary, the former Las Vegas Metro CSI, Dr. Laura Petler, a forensic criminologist, Sharon Hagan, a retired California DOJ profiler that I used personally in my cases when I was active duty, and others. When I investigate a case, I recognize as I move through any case that there are people that have expertise that can help me move that case forward. And I am never reluctant to go out and tap into that expertise.
And Paul, I would assume the greatest satisfaction of this show is giving families closure.
And that is the ultimate goal, is to get these families an answer. It won't bring their loved ones back, but they want to know who did this.
Well, congratulations on the new series, Paul. And when you have a chance, come out and visit us in Las Vegas. We'd love to have you.
Oh, I'd love to be there. Thank you very much.
The DNA of Murder with Paul Holes is now on the Oxygen channel. And for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.